Start streaming.
Yes. Grab that link for
Yeah, can you drop that? I'll drop it in. Now, should I add everyone? What is the protocol here?
Go for it. Who cares?
I'm a little nervous to do that, but whatever. Let's do it. Did you guys add everyone when you guys when I hosted last time?
I think I did. But that's just because I'm a menace to society. I dropped the link in the general chat here.
So we're gonna open the server after it ends, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I feel like if we do it halfway through, that'll be chaos.
Yeah. All right.
Are we live currently?
We are live. We just went live now. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for people to pile in.
Hot mic or cold mic?
I'll have to keep my pants on.
All right, cool. So I'm not allowed to make fun of Dom?
Oh, you have to make
fuck you.
You can if you wish. Up to you. I'll leave that to your jurisdiction.
Yes, send now. Why does it tell me every time? Are you sure you want to send this to all these people? Yes, I know.
I do.
If you guys are at everyone, I'm at everyone.
It's so funny. I feel like
out of solidarity.
I feel like that message is just to tell, it's like Discord being like, you're being a dick right now.
Right?
It's like, yeah, I know I'm being an asshole. Like, just send it.
Be like, Discord, there's a reason we made it its own channel. And only 5 or 6 people have permissions.
It's like, I'm an asshole, I know.
I'm going to defiantly eat this meatball.
Respectable. Hard respectable. Very respectable.
Yeah. When in doubt, eat Italian food.
Hell yeah. I got Italian food last night. I got a big calzone, and then I had leftovers for it from work today. I was so happy. I completely forgot until I opened the fridge and I saw it. And I was like, it made my day, honestly. Easily the best part of my day.
Make sure you switch from top chat to live chat so that you can actually hear all the people from,
I'm doing this on my phone, so I won't be able to check chat at all.
Okay.
We will dramatically reenact it for you.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, we had a couple people pouring in on the stream chat now. Picking up.
I have a 1% chance of winning my fantasy game.
Dude, I have a 2% chance of winning my week. I'm devastated.
Okay, here's where the algorithm is stupid, though. I'm leading by 30, and this dude has Dak and Samuel still to play.
Okay.
So you're telling me the odds of these guys scoring less than 30 is 1%? Like, really?
Do you want to hear?
Dak has a 10% chance of just breaking his leg. Like,
do you want to hear? Do you genuinely want to hear? Let me tell you about the week I had. Let me tell you this week. Okay, I'm down 50. Okay. Let's establish that right away. I'm down 50. Here's my roster. Nick Chubb, who missed his projection today.
Yeah, he did shit.
Chase Edmonds, who missed his projection today.
Yep.
Stephon Diggs, who missed his projection today.
Yep.
I'm sensing a theme.
It gets better. Allen Robinson, who way missed his projection today.
Yep.
Darren Waller missed his projection today. Jones Jr. missed his projection today. And I have Prescott and Pollard to play tomorrow.
Nice.
And I benched Marquez Callaway because I bought into the hype and he shit the bed last week. And I said, you know what? I'm no longer buying into the hype. He gets a touchdown and 12 points today. He outscored everybody on my starting lineup. So thank you, Marquez Callaway, for waiting a week to do that. I appreciate that.
When the wife drops by to drop more garlic bread.
Dom, what's your record this season?
1-1.
I wish. God,
I lost game 2 by 1 point.
You
hate to see it.
I'm literally looking at week 4. I'm 0-3. So I'm
nice. Yeah. Some years not your year.
Not eager for week 4. Oh, I'm so disappointed with it. I'm so disappointed. I can't.
Adam, you got the questions? Just like housekeeping, we didn't cover that prior to starting.
Yeah, I can do that. Hang on.
Right on.
I got it starred. I got it blue starred.
Dope.
A
How longer should we wait to do the intro? A couple minutes?
couple more minutes. Yeah, let's give people.
Rolling in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I
if
agree.
you're more than 10 minutes late, you expect to kind of be late. So
Thought you were older than me by like 10 years. I'm 19. I will be 20 in like 16 days.
Nice.
What other child is older than you by 10 years?
I don't know. Someone said I thought I was like 10 years. I don't know.
Oh, Frost.
I'm 29.
29. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
26.
let me talk you
Nice.
through this, guys. My 30s have been the best fucking decade of my life. Okay.
Awesome. It's good news for me.
And that's not even like hyperbole, just because they're over in about 6 weeks. But like, it's just amazing because you're still young enough to do all the things you want to do, and now you actually have a little wisdom, hopefully a little money. You're established. You know what you are. You know what you like. You know what your safe word is. Like you can really enjoy it.
Mhm.
It's very generous of you to call yourself wise, Adam.
Wisdom is just somebody who screwed it up a lot and went, "Oh, don't do that again."
Ah, you're CJ. Hi, CJ.
Mm.
I thought you were younger than 17.
I thought you guys all were like 40.
No.
I'm 25 and I'm 25. I'm figuring it out, dude. No, but I don't.
You just said you're
Guy who
26.
does-
I lied. I forgot my age. My life's a wreck, dude.
I'm like, well, what are you
I'm gonna say I'm 27 tomorrow, dude. I don't know what's going on. I'm 25. I'm pretty sure. 90% certain. I should be higher on that.
The guy who does Big Head Baseball recaps, his name is Deacon Nickens. He is 78 and
What a
retired.
What a
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that dude writes like I dig that. I think he's
Yeah.
around 78. Give or take a few years. But yeah, that dude's champ.
Shout out
So
to the people DMing me about my safe word.
They want to know it.
I mean, I'll tell people it's blueberries. No, it's not.
Not
Under
a bad
5
safe-
in your DMs.
Not a bad safe
Yeah.
word. Not a
Nope.
bad safe word.
So it's 8:11. You guys want to?
I think we can jump
Yeah.
into it. Yeah, more people
Yeah,
can
We
jump
sure.
in.
pretend to be professional.
I'll ask
As
Adam,
I
how's
eat
the
this
garlic bread?
Okay, so we get French bread, right?
Mhm.
And then we come home, and my wife will, or I will, but usually it's her 'cause she's better at it. She'll butter it and then do the salt and the garlic, and we throw it in the oven. Oh, fuck, it's so good. Look,
What is
I
this safe word?
I recommend you marry an Italian if that's an option for you, and that's kind of where your jam is in terms of like marriage and all that.
I'll keep it in
In
mind.
terms of marriage.
Look, not everybody wants to get married. You know,
I'll put it.
I
I'll
get
put
that.
it. I'll put it in the Google Doc. I'll keep it in mind.
Throw it- Look, I'm never gonna be that person who's out there like, marriage was amazing for me, so you have to get married.
Yeah, yeah.
No, like that. Everybody's flow is different.
For sure,
you
for
know,
sure.
everybody's rivers go in a different direction. I gotta write that down. That's good.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I see what you're saying about the wisdom.
I've got grays all over in here now.
Oh
you know,
hell yeah.
which I'm excited about because like there was like one like 9 months ago, and I was like, just are you there? Just fucking come on already. Like, let's do this. You know, if we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
And now they're kind of like all over. So, all right, it's nice. It's great
Yeah.
because the rest of the time without the gray, it's people going, "You're not 27? No, I'm not 27."
All right. I think we got like a decent amount of people in chat right now.
Yeah, we can start.
Yeah, get her started.
Gonna
Yeah.
throw the SCFSL merch right there, baby.
Yes, sir. Good stuff.
There you
Nice.
go. High winds, dude.
Nice,
beautiful.
Nice.
I'm repping too.
Very nice.
I love the high winds, dude. I love that phrase.
The greatest joke. Shout out to TLK who couldn't be here. He's at a wedding.
Any of you saw Ravens Lions finish? Yeah. Yep. Two great games. That and Dolphins.
Yeah, Miami Raiders is
Raiders was great. Yep.
very good game. Very good game. That 2-point conversion was nuts.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Was that
We
game in
need
Miami,
GFSA
or-
I
merch.
think it was in Miami. No, it was in Las Vegas. Was it? I
Was
can't
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
in
Yeah,
Las-
Yeah.
I'm,
that beautiful
I'm
stadium.
like I'm like 8 miles away, so I'm not.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Wait, how far away am? Stadium is by the airport. I'm 4 or 5 miles away from the
It's
stadium.
not bad.
Everything in Vegas is a circle. Like if you even look at a map,
Yeah.
our big highway is like a giant circle, and almost everything is inside. So you're never actually that far from anything, and almost everything is a grid. So
Right on.
I could get to the stadium in 15 minutes with good traffic. And also, beautifully, our stadium is designed so that it's literally on one road, 3/4 of a mile from the airport.
Beautiful.
People can leave,
Beauty.
come
beauty,
in, leave.
Beauty.
I've heard good things about Vegas. Not particularly the structure, the grid of the actual geography of the city. More so the
contents.
the context, the events you can attend.
I'll defend Vegas all day long. It's a great place to live. I didn't think it was for a long time, but then like I moved somewhere else, and within 9 months we were back. And I've moved away twice and come back. It's a great city.
Fair. Yeah.
I wish I had more rivers and mountains and stuff. I mean, no, I got plenty of mountains. There's literally mountains on every side.
Sure.
More rivers and trees, but
Take
take
what
what you can get. I also have most winter days where the low is in the mid 40s,
Beautiful.
which a lot of people are like, "What? That's my high." So,
Yeah.
if you're 17, Vegas is torture. I actually enjoyed Vegas at 17. I would go down to Old Vegas with my cousin, which is now known as Fremont Street. There was a McDonald's down there, so we'd go down there and watch all the people, and every weekend and order, fries and shakes and whatnot. And back when McDonald's fries were actually McDonald's fries. Shout out to the people who remember that.
Good times. Dating
let's-
yourself, brother.
Oh, 1981 for life. Let's actually start with the elephant in the room.
Mhm.
How did you get this elephant, and how did they get in your house? But for those of you, actually, Hummus, I'm gonna let you do that one.
Yeah, I'll take it away. Yeah, appreciate it,
Yeah,
Adam. So this morning, I got a message from a PBE user named Dren, and Dren is someone who become pretty close with, was our community events head for a while. Just a really good user in the league, friendly, and sent me a message that Emmy, who's a member in a lot of the leagues represented here tonight, passed from the cancer she was fighting. So it was pretty as a gut punch, as I was explaining before the show tonight, because she had been in such great spirits lately. She had been really battling, trying out different wigs and showing them off, and giving us some smiles. So we want to honor her tonight. We want to start tonight in her honor. We want to do a 1-minute moment of silence. So we'll go ahead and start that now. Thank you all for honoring that. That was pretty touching. Chat. Thank you guys for not saying anything for that moment. We wanted to go around the room and each, talk about if we knew about her, if we knew her in particular, or any kind of stories. I'll start since I got the mic. So Emmy applied for expansion like pretty quickly after I got into head office, and the passion she had as rookie mentor head, which is second to none. You could just see it in the post I made today. Maybe I'll drop the link in a bit, but all of her mentees just stepping out today to say something nice about her really, solidified, validated everything that we heard about her, thought about her when it came time to pick for expansion. And and then it just became personal. It just became just a great relationship, just a friendship, just talking about just the most random things. She just had so much to say, so many smiles to put on our faces. It was amazing just having her, so involved in the PBE, and I'm just definitely gonna miss everything about her. I'm not good at goodbyes, so today was definitely really rough, because I did check in on her last week, and she seemed to be in great spirits. So that's what I'll remember her as someone who was a fighter, someone who didn't let a diagnosis stop her from being great. She got diagnosed and applied to be rookie mentor head, and actually held it down until she had to go through another round of chemo. So 26 years, way too short on this planet, and she'll be missed big time. It's going to be a huge loss for us. So I'll go ahead and pass it. Whoever wants to take it next.
I don't have much. I didn't know her well. We only really interacted a couple of times. Since I am repping the SCFSL here, she was the GM of our season 1 team, championship team, Chocobos. I went back and I looked at all her interactions. She was somebody I knew but didn't know. Just so all I can really say is, to echo that, 26 is insane. It's insane. You're barely starting your life. It's not fair. And anybody who feels like it's not fair, that's a valid feeling. Just take care of yourself, get checked out, like all that stuff. Please do that. It's some things you can't help, but some things you can. That's all I can really add. It sucks a lot. There you go.
Thank you, Adam.
I'm in the same boat. I didn't know her all too well, but I've known her, I've known of her since I pretty soon at the start of being around sim leagues, which was we're talking 3-4 IRL years ago, maybe 5 now. And like I said, didn't know her too well personally, but I think the seeing that impact on everybody kind of speaks to the community we have here, and just how it's niche, and people sometimes stick to their tight knit circles and all that, but we're all in a way this big extended family of people with the same weird hobby, right? It's it was kind of funny because I was thinking about how I always struggle to explain this to people who are not in it. You know what I mean? And I'm it's I feel like a lunatic when I'm explaining it, and it's but I think once you are in it, and once you're you get invested, you the people here, there are people I've met on this site that have transcended this moniker of sim teammates or online friends, and they're just people I would consider my best friends, and I think for a lot of people, Emmy was the same person. Incredibly young, really sad, really sad to, hearing from everybody saying how she was keeping in good spirits and how things seem to be progressing well. It's heartbreaking, but I don't want to give the empty platitudes of remember her and she's always alive and all that. I know it hurts, and I think the best advice I'd give people is let it hurt, process. She was important to a lot of people, and if she was important to you, I think the responsible thing to do for yourself is to process that pain and allow yourself to feel. But all said, rest in peace, and the sim community at large lost a great member.
Thank you, Nora. That was beautiful.
You shouldn't have to describe somebody who's 26 as in good spirits.
Totally.
You shouldn't.
Amen.
It's
Amen.
not. It's not fair.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, Dren told me that in that message. I think what made it so heavy was that she would talk about me, and I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it because I thought about her probably just as much as she talked about me. So I wrote her a letter today, media, saying, I know you're reading this because I know she read everything. She was one of those. And so I'm just gonna continue to, live my life like she's still reading my posts, because that's what she'd want. So, and she'd want us to have fun tonight. So we're gonna try to have fun. It's just been really difficult. Like I said, her mentees are here. Her fellow GM of the Dynamos minor league team is here in chat. LBG's here. Hoppy's here. Kentakira's here. So, yeah, it should be a celebration. As difficult as that's going to be, like we said, 26 is just absolutely ridiculous. So we already planned on our next charity drive being about cancer, at least from our perspective. So we hope, we obviously could talk offline, but we're hoping we could do something. So
absolutely. No, these communities are important, and I especially like in this day and age, like I said, there's no like divide anymore, in my opinion, between like an IRL friend group and an online friend group. Like there's that divide is like completely blurred now, so it's but yeah, just all I was saying was is that like it's that line way blurred now. It's like it is like, as sad as this all is, it is touching to see the positive impact that she had, and it just kind of like, again, just it reinforces the idea that this is like so much more than just like a niche hobby that a bunch of people get on, like log in to take part in a couple times a week.
Nor, I love that you're saying this. And I was talking to Adam offline about this, and like the fact that you have this same mindset that I have, and that we all have here. Totally. That like we need to shatter the walls. We need to get rid of the divide. We need to stop with the pettiness. Especially this tragedy. I think she would want that, and so like absolutely. And I know she would want that. So it's amazing hearing from you, Nor, because you are the big dog. Like we're not, we can't sugarcoat the numbers. Numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So, so numbers show you guys are the big dog. I know you guys have been doing it for a while, but there's something to be said about sustainability and keeping that. Just because you've been doing 100%. It for a while doesn't mean you could still keep doing it. So 100%. I really appreciate that coming from you, because that speaks volumes about you, your HO, your league, your management, top to bottom. That's exactly how I would want sim leagues to be. So Amen. It's amazing that we're here tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's funny you were thinking about that conversation. I was as well. Just that, like, the community. It's the community that really does this, and what we're already trying to do. As weird as it feels to segue from one topic to the other, like it really is a good example. It really is connected. Like we are stronger as a group than we are individually.
Amen. Yeah. And like
preach.
Like I was saying like earlier, just with like this like this divide between like we're not like this is so much more than just like an online community. Like I think I mentioned this on the last podcast, but I got back from a trip last August where like I went to Montreal with a bunch of dudes that I had only met through sim leagues. Like literally, these dudes are like, one of them is one of the guys that I went to Montreal with is dating a girl that I knew from my real life, like from my school. Like I had helped them connect, and now they're dating, and like it is like that's what I'm saying. It's transcended this idea of like, oh yeah, this is just like, these are dudes I talk to because I'm in this place and they happen to be there and I happen to be here, so fine, I'll talk to them. Like these are friends. This is like a bond that's like actually formed, not out of like necessity or out of like convenience. This is like real genuine bonds, and so Emmy made those same bonds in the same way that everybody here in the chat or in the call has made those bonds with at least one other person while they've been here on the site. So, obviously keep everybody who has known her so closely, close at heart, and I lost a friend that I knew through my college around this time last year, and it's rough. It's rough to lose somebody close to you, and 100% like everybody who is really impacted by this, you're in my heart.
It's wonderful, yeah, and yeah.
I mean, TLK sent me this week. Like, this is the person who I text with who knows my home address.
Yeah.
He actually met up with Chess this week. Chess, who is in every league, of course.
Yeah. Right on.
We got pictures of that. Like, I mean, we're all. The world is like this now, and we are following suit.
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
100%.
Yeah, I'd never really met online friends like that. I met Person Man, I met Bex, but Beaver, I think Beaver is a great representation of he's a great person to mention tonight because he's in all the leagues and been around for a long time.
Yeah,
and it's not as cool of a story as like matchmaking, but like it was just really cool to have him come over. We both love college. I know because Nora's matchmaking with SHL friends and his real life friends. Yeah, so it's not as cool as that. That's probably the winner. Yeah,
I thought we were about to get like
no.
revelation of a
blind dating
Beaver relationship. Like, that would have been awesome.
No, but we both love college football, so it was cool to have him come in town and someone who you spent a lot of time joking around with, like now you're in real life.
Totally.
Just going drink for drink.
Yeah.
Talking to female. It was a fun night for sure. Very fun. So that wouldn't have happened without this community, the Simly community. So really appreciate it.
Totally.
Yeah.
For now, everyone's gonna match me. Not quite.
All right. I
think I could do better.
Who's chipping hummus with people now?
I'm kidding, Beaver. You're okay.
Decent.
Yeah. So Adam, you said we went through like half the questions last time.
Something like that. I don't remember where we stopped, but I have a pretty good idea.
We can start from the bottom maybe then.
No,
work our way up.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, let's do that.
Yeah, not a bad call.
Start from the bottom and figure out where we're going. And unlike Drake, we're actually going to start from the bottom.
Yes, sir.
Toronto represented. Nor's here.
Yes, sir.
Motherfucker, you were upper middle class when you were like 12. Don't tell me you started from the bottom.
Dang. You're about to get a diss track written about you.
On Glee.
Look, if you go through puberty and you have an agent while you do, you didn't start from the bottom.
Amen.
It is a catchy ass song, though. I'll give him that.
All
right,
it's a
we'll start from the bottom with Roxas.
I think it's Roxas.
Yeah, it's Roxas. I reposted the questions just because I figured let's try to get more.
As long as Roxas knows they don't have to put on the red light, that's all that's important.
Roxas.
Thank you. She or he is or they is citing PBE. Thank you.
We're getting through it together, Adam. I believe in you.
The question is, what is a safe word?
Oh, so he put that in just now.
He just slipped that in.
Well, yeah. Anyone want to shout out Hummus for sucking ass, which is good because it's good that you're a giving partner.
Who said that? Roxas did? Oh, he did?
Roxas did, yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Of course.
I'm not actually going to answer that question unless anybody wants me to.
No, we're good.
We're good. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Move on.
Thank you for bailing me out, Dom.
Yeah, I got you, man.
Next question is CJ the Flamin' Warfer. If anyone knows CJ. Yes. Repping the SCFSL. So, Dom, you might want to get on him for being a GM. Actually, technically, he's a GM in both leagues, so.
Yeah, he runs, he's in the chat literally with the username Frost Giants and Heat GM. Like, that's his username.
Just a reminder for people: when you fill these out, and we're probably going to keep doing this, you can rep all your leagues on that line. It's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except PBE. Don't write in PBE.
Conveniently, though.
What do you think I need to do in order to build the Frosties? Asking for GMing advice.
I mean,
like it.
okay.
It's bold.
To be fair, I think it's pretty universal in every sim league. I mean,
Yeah.
the most important thing for GMing is just getting an active locker room.
Yep.
Because you're gonna have people that aren't interested in your league that end up on your team either way.
100%.
But the best way to build activity is to create an atmosphere that people enjoy.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely.
And find people who fit that atmosphere.
Definitely.
Yep.
You can have the best atmosphere in the world, and if you don't have people in your locker room who fit that atmosphere, it's not going to work.
Totally. I think one of the best examples from the SHL side, just talking about like on the general point of like a strength as a GM is so when I got drafted, I was on the Hamilton Steelhawks, which is a hot button. That's a hot button team in our community right now. A lot of people don't like them, but and for semi good reason. But I got drafted on there, and we stunk. We were very, very bad, and for a very long time, like we were like, I think I got drafted there like S35, and we didn't end up seeing like any real consistent playoff success until like S48, and so it was a hot minute. But one of the best things that I'll always commend the team for doing was building around activity and community first, because you ended up getting this really tight-knit group of friends. Like I mentioned, that Montreal trip, most of the guys on that trip were dudes that I met through that server. And so okay, I thought I was cutting out again. But like a big part of it is like, you get that established first, because if you go into going into it just saying like I want to build a championship team with as strong of a user base as possible. It's not like if people look at it like IRL GMing of a sports team, where you just load up on the best players you can with that fit in your budget, when in reality you can load up on these great individual players, but if none of them click together, they're all going to walk. You know what I mean? They have they have no desire to stay with you, because there's no sense of community to stick around, right? So you build all of the best teams in like the era of SHL that I've witnessed, from S35 to now we're S61. All of the teams that have like been consistent playoff success or have won a cup off the back of a team that had a phenomenal community. So I definitely agree that the success will come if you build for like a tight-knit group first, and they'll stick around.
Okay, so LR first. Keep that in mind. Want to give a quick shout out. Just joined us, Doc Holiday, one of our reps from SBA,
Hello.
who's getting on board today.
Wow.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you guys doing? Is my volume okay? I can adjust.
Yeah, you're good.
You sound great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Volume is good.
You can turn on video.
You sound good
Oh,
in
yeah, I
general.
guess
You
I
should
can
do
do that.
voiceover
Yeah,
work.
it's a vidcast.
Yeah, it's a video cast. Yeah.
Yes.
What's up,
Wow.
Doc?
Hey,
Hello.
Finally, somebody
The
else in
number-
here with a
What's up,
mustache.
Doc?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go.
look, he'll be your Huckleberry. Okay, that's all you need to know.
That's true. Yeah.
That's right.
Great stuff.
So
That's
it
right,
is good to
Kira.
know.
The SBA.
It's good to know that the SBA is real and not just a fiction
do
of my
exist.
imagination.
We do
So,
exist.
good.
You're
Good
welcome
that
to
you're
join
here.
us at any time.
Is this a figment of your imagination? Is this like Roy Kent being a hologram? Is this one of those internet things?
I joined the CSBA, I think, like really early, and that whole year was such a blur for me that because it was straight in the start of COVID, and I was dealing with a lot of emotional stuff at the time, so I cannot tell you anything from that year. So I just know like I was in the SBA and that I wasn't, and I don't know why I just like left. So I always joke that like you're not real.
Yeah, I think COVID probably did that. Like, I think we probably had a lot of people sort of wander into the world of sim leagues and be like, "Oh, this
Totally.
could be fun," and then a number of other things sort of pulled them, and we're like, never mind, I'd forget it.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's why they call me the Mickey Mouse commish, because I took over during COVID. So, so a lot of success that we've seen with like growth, activity levels rising. We broke our own record for activity checks recently. Like all that, I think, can be pointed to like outside factors and nothing I've done. So
Ignore it.
I mean,
You're goated. You're goated. You're goated.
Credit. I've been an active member of like the OTP subreddit, and like the PBE traffic has gone through the roof over there. Just like mentions of the league, and I was like, this dude's hustling to like get the name out there. So
For real.
props, for
Man,
this
I've heard so many good things about the SBA. The fact that you came and gave me a compliment before I can come in and give you a compliment
Hey, man,
is pretty incredible.
Well,
He's a little mad that you complimented him first. He is. That's
I'm
usually his
actually
thing.
angry at you right now, Doc. No,
No,
it's-
no,
that's
it's-
all.
You're off
disingenuine.
the team, man. You're gone.
You're dedicated, dude. You're wearing the merch and everything. I mean, what can I compete with that?
No, it's been fun. My HO works really hard. Management, we got like 88 people. Love them all dearly. And people have been messaging me, and not to go back to like, it's not really a sad thing. We want to celebrate Emmy. Doc, before you joined, we did like a moment of silence for a user of PBE, SHL. I think she's been in a few other leagues. SCFSL, as we mentioned. Yeah. So just, thinking about that, it's like, man, I kind of lost my train of thought just thinking about her. But yeah, it's just been kind of a crazy day. And just, so, yeah. I had no idea why I wanted to bring that up, but yeah.
Hey, it's on everybody's mind. Like,
Totally.
there's
Yeah,
no-
just thinking about
You
her a
don't need a
lot.
good
So,
reason.
Totally.
yeah.
I do want to shout out chat for enjoying my Roy Kent reference, though.
Nice. Hell yeah.
But yeah, Doc, so you haven't been on this podcast before, and
I have not.
Yeah.
I'm pretty intrigued. There's
I'm
obviously some
excited just to have
differences.
SBA involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
It's awesome.
Glad
Yeah.
to be
Speaking of involved, we have a big announcement after this video cast. Some people in every league, I think we had 5 people are privy to the knowledge of this from each league. So be on the lookout for that announcement after this is over. That's going to be
I
really
honestly,
Have
I
you
would
guys not
rather
been
we drop
spilling
it
it
at
a
like,
little bit?
yeah, I would rather we drop it at like, haha, very funny. I would rather we drop it at like 9, honestly, than at the end. I don't know if you guys
in the middle
feel
of it. That'd be
differently.
cool.
Yeah,
Why not? Why not?
I'm more of a middle hype guy.
Why
than an
not?
end.
Why not?
Look, we have never gone wrong by having a fuck it, let's see what happens mentality so far.
Yeah.
I think
No
we,
one here has ever made a mistake. Little known fact.
I think
now people.
my only
ahead, Noah.
mindset with like having it saved to the end is I think the only reason I think that's more hype is because I don't know if any of you guys play video games, but that like I watch like Nintendo Directs or shit like that. But I just like that's my only hype reason. It's just like whatever Nintendo says, like, and now one more announcement. I'm like gripping my table. I'm like, what is it? What is it, dude?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are at least vaguely aware of what's going on because we had the last announcement and then we spent the last 6 weeks working on it and
I love the result of it. I think it, not to keep teasing it, but we'll go ahead and do that.
Keep teasing.
I love the results of it. I love what all the ideas and some of the bots we have in there. I think we talked about it last time, so people know what the plan is. But I guess can I just say it? What the
Yeah,
announcement
go right ahead.
Just do it.
You
Cool.
practically
So-
spoiled it anyway.
Yeah, so we've been talking tonight before Doc joined about breaking down the Sim League walls, shattering any barriers between us. There's been, I know I've heard pettiness from like day one about this league, that league, this drama, that drama. Well, we have made the official Sim League server. So I say official because we have some of the biggest free-to-play Sim leagues. The biggest free-to-play Sim leagues are going to be represented. So
Totally.
my goal, I don't know about you guys, but my goal is to make it the most populated server in the free-to-play Sim League world. And that's a goal that, I'll keep fighting for. Because that will be the day when we can be like, okay, we worked towards breaking down the barriers and we actually have numbers that show that we actually have done something about that. So Looking forward to it.
Totally.
Very much so. We brought in people to do a lot of different work and help set up and we are definitely going to open it at the end of the podcast or near the end. We said at the end of the podcast, but the way these go and the amount of different bottles that I've been seeing in Windows, we're probably just going to say fuck it 20 minutes before it ends.
Okay. Just to actually clarify, because I think we like skirted around it. The actual thing that we're talking about is the United Sim League server. Like that's being open. Yeah. Because you guys said a lot of words but never actually said what it was.
Isn't that like every like reveal?
Sim League Federation.
The abstract goal is to coordinate things like schedules, help meet new people, help advertise across servers.
Game nights.
Yeah, game nights.
Yeah.
I know there is always my favorite thing to do whenever we're looking for a GM is to talk to other commissioners and just steal GMs
So to
from
have
other
that
leagues.
channel.
Yeah, so just that sort of cross-league communication. That server is opening tonight, and hopefully we can get a lot of use for it.
Listen, we're not saying you can't be petty to the other leagues. By all means, be petty. Noir especially loves that shit. But like, make it.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
Get in together.
Yeah, fun banter.
It's a
I
lot
of course love that.
better.
I grew up playing basketball. Yeah, that's why I'm glad
It's a
Doc's
lot-
here.
It's a lot better to be petty to another league when you and the 20 people you're talking to are also in that league as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's a lot more fun that way.
It's going to be cool having all the roles, like role reacts to your league, so you can click on someone and see, oh, what league are they in? Oh, that's cool. Let me ask them about a league that I'm not in that I'm interested in.
Totally.
And that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Like, and I don't want it to like. I hope people from the PBE see this and see how awesome y'all's leagues are, and kind of hope
Likewise.
would hope for the same. Yeah. So I think goes back to what Nora's talking about. That he started off tonight with breaking down those barriers. So that's one of those things. Is let me see what league you're in. Let me message you. Let's get to know each other. I think that's what it comes down to is community.
Amen. Word.
Looking forward to it.
We're definitely going to have to make a Thunderdome in there.
There was at one point a Sim League fantasy league where like you pick users and then you take the players of those users.
Of the users?
Wow.
And so you're drafting
That's
users.
really funny.
And
That's
like
interesting.
I guess
That
maybe
is
on an
nuts.
average scale, I would hope it wouldn't be like cumulative because then you just whoever's in the most is leagues.
Yeah.
That user's always going to win. So hopefully on an average scale. But yeah, there was a Sim League fantasy league at one point, and maybe we can bring that back.
It's wild.
We got some smart people in these leagues. Somebody will come up with something.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Dom,
TPE
for
earned.
doing what I was
Lasers
about
here.
to.
It was so it's TPE earned, and it's like on an average.
That's funny.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
awesome.
it's just straight activity.
When are we going to get shared league bank accounts?
Oh no.
God, no.
We had that convo already.
We are
I
too,
literally
SHL,
told-
SHL is
Yeah.
too stingy with money to do it. We're just finally being like double-digit pay, perhaps.
A lot of people want it, but like at the end of the day, like if your sim file handlers are working for people and helping them get updated in the file, like you kind of want them to be people who have helped contribute to your league.
Totally.
And that's when I heard that was the first thing I thought, and then I saw some discussion about it from other commissioners, and I'm like, you know what? That's actually a great point. I know the user base would be absolutely thrilled to have a joint universal bank account, but like in practice, it could end up going pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't think the idea in and of itself is bad. I think you just have to. It takes a lot. It would take a lot of work. Like we'd have to standardize a lot of stuff across all of our leagues to make it happen.
Yep.
Exchange rates. How do you calculate that?
100%.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. Like basically every pay increase on the site would have to go through all of us. like, it is.
Redo
it is
the
a
calculator
logistical
every single
nightmare.
time. Right.
One of my teams literally brought this up this morning. Was like, when are we gonna get that? And I was like, yeah, it literally comes up every episode, and everybody freaks out. I was like, watch, it's gonna come up this episode, and I'm like, just now, I'm like, see, told you, there it is.
That's
just watch
amazing.
every commissioner go, "Oh God, no!"
I don't want to say never, but it's not happening.
Never.
This isn't.
Never.
This
Look,
podcast needs to
never.
be more of a game show. Let's start like spinning a wheel for Cap
Yeah, right.
and like have like Jeopardy questions.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Good
Do you guys want
times.
another question?
That's
Yeah.
Hit me.
That was a good answer to that question.
What's up,
Hey!
someone?
I finally figured out how to
From the the EFL is officially here.
I'm actually not in like at home, so like it's gonna be like
Oh,
weird.
really?
So yeah, I'm at a
West
park.
Coast.
We had
Yeah,
somebody join. We had
sorry.
somebody join last week, not from home too. Who was it?
Yeah,
It was Tom.
Nor,
It was
the
Tom.
person that
Yeah,
you're.
He was on
Yeah,
vacation.
Choose
Yeah,
it
he
like
was
a
on
cat.
or
vacation.
not Nor.
Tactical Hammer. He was on
Like,
vacation.
yeah, tack. Yep.
Yeah. So now
Shout
we
out
got
to the West
someone.
Coast where we still have daylight. That's right.
I like
You
someone
see?
because your font is like the Cam Newton font. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the Cam Newton font, but it's very cryptic. I love it.
A cryptocurrency.
Oh,
Simply
God,
crypto,
really?
All
man.
right, let's get the question going.
There was a new question. Really, Hummus?
What happened? Oh, that's the question.
I saw there was a new question. Hummus asked, "What is a huckleberry?" And now I feel old.
I mean, what is a
That
huckleberry?
wasn't me. Wait, someone. I did not put that question. You know
you didn't
me.
put that question in?
I'm low effort.
Okay.
I would not fill out a question for our own pod. Come on.
Let's
I'm not
see.
that
The
cool.
shout out was to Roxas, so I'm going to assume it's Roxas.
Okay, yeah, it's
Huckleberry
definitely
is a reference to the movie Tombstone. The character of
1993
Doc
was the year
Holliday.
it came out.
Thank you. Didn't need to know that. Thank you. I was 12.
He's old. He's old.
Yes. The character of Doc Holliday in that movie says, "I'll be your huckleberry," which is basically, "I got your back." You know.
Yeah.
It was an old school sort of like the way they talked back then. It was a phrase, so that's what that means.
It's also a real berry.
It is a
Yeah.
real berry.
Yeah, it grows in. It's the state fruit of Idaho.
I
There
did
you
not
go.
know that, and I live
Yeah.
in Idaho.
All right. Well,
Well,
learn something new.
maybe
every
you
day.
need to know more things. Come on.
I'm not-
Wait, Adam, I thought you. No, I thought you lived in Nevada.
I do live in Nevada. I have lived in
Sure.
13 states.
Wow.
Some of them more than once. So, I've been around. Next question is from Pingu, who's claiming SBA. He's actually my minors GM in SBA.
Dope.
How exciting is it for Pingthur Findragon to be entering the draft pool? I'm not sure which league he's entering the draft pool in with that character, but I know it's one of them. He entered a couple other new leagues lately. Will there ever be a need to create both offensive and defensive players? Well, I know this isn't a GFSA question where you can create offensive and defensive players all at once because that's how it's built.
And our draft coming up soon. Join now.
Shameless plug.
Plugs for the win.
Shameless plug.
Look,
Yeah.
if we are not shameless plugging, what the hell are we even doing as commissioners?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
valid.
kind of
And his shout out is actually for me, Hiram Canterbury 5th V. That's my player in SBA.
Oh,
For my
nice.
love of Ted Lasso
fifth?
and Sinestro. Yes. Okay, so when I originally joined SBA,
really are
like
old.
3-something years ago, he was my character was Hiram Cornelius Canterbury the 4th because I wanted a stupid long name. And then, so I left for a while, and then I recently came back and made a character, and I realized math-wise that it's been 22 years since my original player. So I was like, he's old enough to have a son. His son is going to be my new player, Hiram Canterbury the 5th.
Nice.
You know, so yeah. And then
Awesome.
his name was Hiram. The first guy was Hiram Cornelius Canterbury the 4th, and then his PFP was Jeremy Lin, and I just refused to explain it because it needed no explanation.
Fair enough.
So Pingu is very exciting. Go draft Pingu. That's what I'm going to say. Next question is from Amidas, who couldn't be here, but Amidas, yes. Emitis? I always said Amidas.
I believe officially it's Emidus. I've
Emidus?
been told, but
Well, that's stupid.
everyone knows who he is.
So,
It needed to be Amidas for one of my recent jokes to work because somebody accused him of
Brutal.
not reading something. And I was like, you were elected to Amidas, not to Aretas. which is
But now the joke is dead. Now it's ruined.
it is whatever. He's chiming in from SBA EFL. Pick a member of the head office or board of directors from every league represented in this podcast to help create or run a new league. Give a reason why you picked each member. I feel like we can cheat and just say the people who are in the call.
Me.
That's easier than going through everyone's teams.
That is way easier.
Yeah, we're gonna make this is the newest announcement is we're all gonna make a soccer league. So
Let's go.
There does need to be a soccer league.
You need idea people, you need details people, you need people who do the dirty work. You need one person who can be an asshole when somebody needs to be an asshole. You need you need a varied mix.
Big personality matrices. Matrices, I think is the plural.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You need somebody that's going to hit all the different notes. Yeah. 100%.
I'm from the SHL side, I'm assuming we can't pick like people who step down from HO. So I'm going to
say current.
If it's current group, because I would pick Luke, but he stepped down 2 weeks ago. Or less, I think, about a week ago, which is devastating for me because now I actually have to work. But I'm gonna go. Everybody in my current group, I've been pretty fortunate that since I took over as commish, like everybody I've had in my HO group has been like a really great, like active contributing member. Which is such like a cop out answer, I know, but like I will pick somebody. I would probably go Tommy Salami. He's got the same sort of like I think mental process that Luke has, which is what I like. He's like a very details oriented guy. He's like great with new ideas. He's like when he chimes in on discussions, you can tell he's not just like he doesn't just throw ideas to the wall and sees what sticks. He thinks he's an ideas guy who like thinks the idea, like he plots it all out before thinking like, is this worth like throwing out there? Is this something we can build on? So yeah, if I was starting a new league and I had to pick one of my guys, I think I'm pretty comfortable picking him.
We're only allowed to draft one person?
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd pick my whole team, and that would be so cheap of me to do.
Yeah, that's why the question seemed a little odd. It's like, so you just want me to draft my HO? Cool. Yeah. Next question.
Done.
Well, they did say one person from each.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. For me, last time I said Poe because they asked. Now the question last time was if you're going to start a team, who's going to be your co-GM?
Yeah.
And that was Poe. Well, Poe's no longer in HO. He quit. He's a quitter. No, I'm kidding. He stepped down for obviously great reasons. It's always going to be great with him. It's a tough one, but I'm going to go with a guy named Schoolboy Shu. He's joined in season 17 and has had like a pretty crazy quick upward trajectory. His media is always extremely popular. He does the award breakdown every year, so he'd be someone that would be perfect to help build like a good competitive structure because he has such a good grasp of competitiveness and balance, and he's our balancing team oversight. So yeah, he'd be someone if we were going to start a new league, he'd be the first person I'd call.
All right, Doc, how about you? Let's hear from the SBA.
I've been thinking about this. I had a couple of ideas. I like everyone else. I think that like my admin team is great. Like everybody that we work with in our board of directors and our league commissioners and everybody are fantastic. And I think they're all bring great stuff to the table. I think if I had to just pick one, it's actually going to end up being Emidus, the guy who asked this question, because
that's why he asked.
It certainly is. It'll make him really happy that I said that, because he, for the SBA and EFL is like our programmer. So our portals that do all the updating and player management, all this stuff, he has built himself, and it's like an insane amount of work that has really streamlined the league.
Totally.
So when I joined SBA too many years ago now, we still had like forum updating, and then I was there for like the crossover to updating in a portal, and it's simplified a lot of things. He put in a lot of great work, and he's continued to like constantly improve it. And like I've been blown away to see how much this dude works for a thing that's like a hobby. Like we do this for fun.
Word.
But he's like working to improve it for everybody. And I think that sort of like dedication to a thing he's really passionate about is like an invaluable skill in building something. So that's probably who I would pick.
Good pick. Are we blurry for anyone else? Is it just me? Like
I'm
the
watching
actual
on YouTube. I don't see any blurriness.
Yeah, it looks
Okay,
good.
it's just
It's
me.
to me,
Cool.
yeah.
I
was
thought we
looking on
improved
Discord.
by being blurry personally, but
That probably would help.
I did.
Who's next? I guess I should pick SCFSL. It's got to be TLK. Like I know that's the cheap, easy answer, but like
That is a cheat. Come on,
it
are we allowed
is.
to? Are we allowed to exclude people because he's been on this podcast? If he's been on this podcast,
That's
he
true.
shouldn't be allowed to be chosen.
That's true. All right, in that
Word.
case, I'll pick. I'll pick Toasty.
I'll pick Dom.
Wait, I literally had a thought of like, wait, who all the people who cross over in GFSA and SCFSL, but yeah, I pick Toasty. Toasty's a great example of just a young dude who gets it, who gets after it. Like that dude can do so many things. He's programmed bots. He's doing all these other things. The little fucker's only 18, and he's like insanely talented and driven, and I mean that with all the respect and admiration in the world. I wish I had half his motivation when I was 18. I wish I had half his motivation fucking now. Like that dude is something. Like you put Toasty in a situation and the situation will improve. Like it's just that simple. So
Good pick.
since I can't have TLK because y'all are jerks.
Just me. I'm the jerk tonight. You said you needed a mean person, right, to do like
That's true.
run a sim league. So there we go.
Usually it's me. It's weird. Like I've been transitioning out of that. Let's hear from someone. Not in a generic fashion.
Let's hear
but the
EFL.
actual-
Yeah.
So I would never pick myself even if I was allowed to, and I won't pick Tax since he was here last time. So
Good call.
I will say Flex. I think he became admin. The timeline's like weird in my head, but I think it was like maybe like 2 weeks ago. But he's the EFL like simmer as well, and he just does a lot of stuff. And if I did something wrong, he's probably the one who's gonna like DM me and like say stuff. So I think he's like the most responsible one.
Fair. Salt pick.
Good call.
I think that's a great pick, Flex.
We
is,
need somebody responsible, so that's a good
Yeah.
call.
Yeah.
the adult in the room.
Exactly. That is a stressful job. I
Word.
hate it. I'm gonna go get something to drink. That leaves
Okay.
Dom.
Yeah, Dom.
I
Oh,
left
man.
you people, Dom. I did.
I didn't
Now,
study
tell
for the
people why
quiz.
Tell people why it's Vaughn.
I'm gonna pick Mongoose because of his your mom jokes.
You need someone to keep it
No,
light.
You need the court jester.
Okay. So here's the problem, right? GFSA does not have a conventional head office. It's more like a group of advisors, and then the actual group of the three people that do everything right now is me, Turkey, and Vaughn. I always want Vaughn, but the problem with Vaughn is he'll disappear for a week because he has to like take care of horses or like fix a pipe or something. I love Vaughn to death. Dude lives in the middle of nowhere. Like he's like super like rural. But he's always like my pick for this kind of question. Because I am, and to an extent, I think most people in this chat are kind of disorganized idea people, you know, like leaders, but not necessarily like bureaucrats. You know, Vaughn is a bureaucrat. He thinks about things. He spends time working on things. He executes and plans. And he's really like a great counter to the chaos that is us.
Sure.
You know, us evil commissioners. So I love having him around. And when we make our cross sim league soccer league, he will be co-commissioner.
Right on.
Yeah.
No,
We're not going to make a soccer league.
No, we've discussed this. You know, they had the GRSL. There's no engine that can provide the customization that Sim League needs. Like we need to be able to customize pretty much everything about what we do. So that's what makes all of our engines so great. And
takes him a week to fix a pipe. Yes.
No, we're fortunate in that regard.
Yeah, no, we're very shout out to those game devs. Like they've really given us this. Like that's what's been kind of cool about so I guess the cat's out of the bag, but we noticed that Out of the Park wants to give out, like the Out of the Park developers, they want to have community members give out perfect team pack drops. if you've never played Out of the Park, they have a mode called Perfect Team. That's basically like the card collecting a game mode in Out of the Park. So it's like your
it's like
Madden Ultimate
MUT.
Team.
Yeah.
Madden Ultimate Team, MLB, Diamond Dynasty. So that's their game mode, and they want community members to get involved with that, giving out packs while you watch the stream. And so we applied just to see, what it can mean. We have a sim team that's pretty rigid on like when we stream, so we won't do it unless it makes sense. But
For sure.
when I told our contact, their chief operating officer, that we applied, he thanked me for applying. So, and I'm thinking to myself, I should be thanking you for making this game that we even get to play. So it's just those little things,
Word.
that I feel very fortunate about, just having that platform.
Yeah.
Shout out to game devs for sure. Although if you are a game dev and you happen to watch this and you want to make a basketball game that's not from 2013, please contact me, because our game is super old. It works great. It is what it is, but it's like a decade old almost.
Can I ask you a question, Dot?
Yes.
Do you know a website called basketballgm.com?
Yes,
I
we
love
actually
Basketball GM.
we get a lot of guys coming over from basketball GM leagues and vice versa. That's a pretty common.
It's a great engine.
I was gonna say, have you thought about formulating yourself around it and like what that would mean?
They have their own sort of league culture, sort of like GM versus GM kind of stuff. It's not quite like simulation like we do, but I think we looked at it and it doesn't really work. We've a couple times explored engine change options, but it also requires such a huge infrastructure overhaul that it hasn't felt worth it to us yet.
Yeah.
But we just at times we lament that our game is like 8 years old.
Yeah.
I think so they have, I don't know if you know this, how much they have like that company has made like a football sim, a basketball sim, baseball sim that I use in the Kingpin's locker room, some other stuff, and it's great, but right now it's very, very foundational, and it's going to take a couple more years before I think the presentation and the depth of everything is worth like a sim league. Right now it's great for like a casual sim league, or like something that's more light, like I said, like a project inside a locker room.
Sure.
But SBA is like a whole ass league, and I don't think right now it has the presentation for a league like SBA or any of the league here. But I'm super interested in that website actually, because it's super accessible. It's really easy to modify.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, in a few years,
I think it's got good. It's casual and like it's very approachable. It's not like the first time I ever played like OOTP was probably my first sort of sports sim game like this, and I was so overwhelmed by like how much you could do, right?
Yes.
And all these games are like that. There's a lot you can dig into. Basketball GM is like really accessible. You can jump in. All right, cool, got it. Sign the players, do the thing, sim, let's go, and you just like, kind of dive into playing, which is really nice.
Yeah. I think that's the toughest part about managing a sim league is like the engine itself, right? Because it's like when you really think about it, at the end of the day, like none of this shit was built to do what we're doing. We just come in and like leach off it, then go to the devs and we're like, please add this, we need this. and they're just
why does your engine suck?
Yeah, like I remember. So we're on FHM now, right? Which is like same devs for Out of the Park, right? And before that, we were on this one STHS Simon yeah. Brutally,
also super old.
Super old. Like, dude, like I remember. So before I got into HO stuff, I was GMing, and I remember the first time I got into it, they were teaching me how to test sim, and I was looking at this thing, and I was like, dude, this is ancient. Like, did you dig this sim engine up? Like, what is this? Like it's so funny because it's like. Literally, you're looking at this, and the whole the game devs were like looking at like making this like putting this together, and they were like, oh, this would be like a cool way for people to like interact with like a real world sports league and in the comfort of their room. And then we come in and we're like, what if we made a fake one, huh? With like a bunch of players that aren't even real. Like it's very much like we're very fortunate to like have these resources that we have and have them work. Like the fact that this is even possible, which is like even I know with Hummus saying like the partnership with PB and OOTP, when I was co-commissioner, we started to work with OOTP as well in a similar capacity for FHM. And
They would want you guys. You guys are huge.
That's how we got, like, you know how you guys have the same thing, like the affiliate link thing, where like you get a cut of the profits and all that. It was the same deal for us. We did the same thing with FHM, and it was like, I didn't think when I first joined the site and we were on like bum ass old Simon T, I was like, we were never gonna get to a point like this. Like,
yeah, Com2Us bought Out of the Park, and they've allowed them to keep a lot of their functionality, a lot of the management.
Yeah.
Rich had told me he's COO now. He's moved up into a Com2Us, even a promoted role, and just talking to him, I could tell like it's still the same company. So we were all pretty worried when that purchase happened. Like, oh crap, here we go.
Sure, yeah.
Definitely.
Here we go. They sold out, but they really didn't. They just cashed out. So it's like I think there's a huge difference between selling out and cashing out.
Word.
And they deservedly cashed out. And it's interesting. You mentioned like the devs, and like we do something that they didn't build it to do. And so when we went on that podcast with Out of the Park, it was pretty fascinating to hear the guy who runs the company listen to us, and it's just like you could hear his jaw hitting the floor. He's like, wait, you can like sign a contract and like talk to GMs and be a free agent and get traded? He was freaking out, and
that's cool.
It was beautiful.
You know what? That actually gives me an idea for for like one of the calls that we do in the future. It might be cool to get somebody from the OOTP.
Yeah, try to get one of the devs.
That'd be kind of cool to have somebody on here to like bounce ideas off of. And I mean, right now they've got like baseball and hockey, but who knows, man? Like maybe if they see the market from all these other leagues. SHL has seen massive growth under FHM, and I know that PB has been thriving on OOTP and how consistent their updates are. I think that'd be cool, even if just to bounce ideas off of and let them know that this community is not like 3 dudes in a Facebook group. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
I can confirm that's pretty awesome. Axis, which is what we run SCFSL on, has been super involved, and they come in and they'll do live commentary for games occasionally, and
like Pro Bowl. Yeah.
The last Pro Bowl we had just recently, the lead developer for the game actually did the strats for one of the 2 Pro Bowl teams. Like it's been very cool, and they've definitely they've listened to our suggestions quite a bit too. So it's a great thing, because you just know when all these people were making these games, their thought process is going to be, everybody's going to want me to figure out how to put real life players in this. And then this was just this incredible left turn.
Yeah, right.
They probably never saw coming.
Spectate mode, AI managed games. I want to touch on Axis because there's like a community of people who support indie football games because they want to see the mainstream game do better. So by pushing the draft days, pushing the Simon T's or for EA, or pushing Axis to get at EA, I think that is so like having a community rally around an indie game is only going to be better for like everybody.
I agree. Yeah.
Most people play Madden, most people play NHL. So by rallying around Out of the Park and Axis, it's going to be great for gamers all around the world, which is kind of crazy to think.
No, for sure.
Axis is legit like 3 dudes in a trench coat. Like it's not even. It was 4 dudes in a trench coat. Now it's 3 dudes in a trench coat. Like it is an incredibly small company, and the fact that they've been able to do what they've done is insane
100%.
to me. Like, I think it was Dom I was talking to not long ago that we were comparing sort of in GFSA we use Madden 08 with some mods as an engine, and comparing that. What they had, all the resources they had back then, to Axis now, Axis isn't that far behind what Madden was then, which is insane. Because at that point,
much less resources,
years, hundreds of employees, all these things, and it's crazy what you can do now as a very independent sort of game maker, especially when you can connect with an audience, like they have.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think I very much agree. This is the time of the independent game maker, the small game maker. And if it does improve the big guys, then yes, that's a great win as well. But honestly, I just want to improve the overall gaming experience for everybody. So,
yeah. More competition in anything is always a good thing, right? Like
thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Hell yeah. and like Hummus, I especially liked what you said about like hopefully like gaining these like indie games to like get enough traction to like influence these larger games, because I think there's this like common sentiment, like maybe less so with baseball because I think the show is in like a pretty decent place, but like you look at the state of like NHL or NHL and Madden, which every year come out and everyone's like, wow, this is dog shit. And then and then same thing.
Yes,
like,
that's what exactly I was thinking.
Like 2K's got the same problem right now where it's like
FIFA too, yeah.
And the biggest thing about it is like where you're looking at it and like it's just a lack of competition. Like why would EA or 2K have to put in any work when like what is the worst that's gonna happen? Like for FIFA, what is the other one they have? Pro Evolution, like PES, like at the very like realistic, like and I've heard like a really common sentiment from a lot of people who are disappointed in these games is like obviously like there's little things about like the engine and about like the resources provided and pay to win mechanics, but like I've heard a really common sentiment of people saying like, man, these GM modes are really lackluster and I want to get into this mind state of like managing a team and seeing what that's like from the comfort of my own home. And then that's where it's really fortunate to have stuff like Axis and PBE and FHM where you have like these great resources to be like, hey man, like you want to like do what these NHL GMs do, these MLB GMs do from like your computer. Well, here's an environment where you can do it and not just get like the canned answer from an AI player saying he wants a trade. You get a real dude coming up to you saying like, hey, I want to build a good player, help me, you know? And you get a very I mean that's a big part about why our like communities, as niche as they are, once you get involved, are so cool because you get this like very real person to person interaction where you're not like like if you're a GM, you're not managing a team and then some guy goes like just like three possible responses from a canned AI telling you that he's like disgruntled, you know? like no, you're talking like a real person. And I think that's I think the more we like us coming together as like a joint community, I think like further amplifies that, right?
100%.
Yeah, and it's just crazy because some of these mainstream games have taken steps back in some of these like manager mode, franchise mode, functionalities, abilities. And so yeah, when the Doug Flutie game came out for football, I remember there was a huge push to support them. And I remember when Axis first came out. That's why when TLK said he picked Axis for his engine when he first started, I was like, heck yeah, I'm in. Like we're going indie. Like we're gonna support a honest team of developers that it just wants what's best for football gaming. So
100%.
I want to direct this. I know Doc's been a little quiet because his sim engine's old.
It is what it is.
What is
older than my child?
You make do.
What engine are you guys running? And you said it was a game from 2013?
Yeah, so we use a game called Fast Break Pro Basketball 3, which was released in 2013. It's the third edition of the series. This dev also did college basketball games as well. It's for sale if you want to buy it on Greydog Software, which also hosts TEW if you're a wrestling fan, which is like sort of these kind of sim games for wrestling, and a number of other games that are sort of indie devs. They're like a sort of a marketplace for indie devs.
That's
very
our next
indie,
league.
like Fast Break was developed by like one guy, and like at one point because this engine's so old, we approached him about like trying to buy the code so we could like find someone to like help us just add a couple features and kind of
own it so you can get your own dev and direct them to make it how you want it and pay them.
But he wasn't responsive. It didn't work out for a number of reasons, but like the point being, it's like literally one dude that we found on Facebook, I think was how we ended up finding him. But so the game is Fast Break Pro Basketball 3, released in 2013, before half of the kids in the leagues these days were even born, probably.
Kentakira, yes, there is a UFC sim league. It's run through Twitch and Discord, I'm pretty sure. I know people, I'll message you, Kentakira. I know some people who are in there that can help you get started. But that's really cool. It's called Fast Break Pro Basketball 3.
Yes.
Now it has like a HTML, like the ability to push to an HTML index. Like how does the record keeping go?
We have indexes that are hosted. I mean, it's a similar sort of thing. Like you can check, divisions and all that stuff. I believe it outputs HTML. I don't actually know the mechanics of like how we host it or whatever. But I think it's not unlike OOTP in that regard, if I understand it correctly. Because it's sort of its own little like directory of pages that I think is all spit out in HTML.
To clear up questions in chat, Grey Dog also makes the MMA sim. It's WAMA, World of MMA. Pretty successful for them as well.
Yes.
I remember that game.
Yeah, we spent a long time on that question, but yeah, before we move on to the next
That was
one.
a great one.
That was a good question, but before we move on, yeah, I think, like, just to reiterate, yeah, it'd be cool to have, like, devs from, like, any of the engines we use, if
Yeah.
we can get, if you get a hold of them, come on, you know? Might be
Let's push it. Let's push it. Let's push each other.
Yeah,
Let's check in with each
okay.
other. Let's
Definitely
ask.
something to do.
Let's,
Definitely something to do.
definitely no one from EA. Sorry, Madden 08. I'm kidding.
So wow, fuck you.
That's
Dude,
not
I don't
EA,
know
Sam.
if anyone that worked on Madden 08 is still in EA.
Very
Yeah,
likely
exactly.
not. Very likely not.
It's been like 13 years, homie.
Very
Yeah,
I
likely.
I can try to get
remember-
Rich on here. I think he'd like it.
Yeah,
I
that'd
feel
be cool.
so
Be
bad
cool.
because I'm not going to remember. I think it was a Maximum Football. Is
That's Doug
a
Flutie's game, right? I think that's Doug Flutie's game.
it's
I'll-
another
Say
it's
yes,
another
say yes.
off-brand
That sounds
football
right.
game.
I think it was
and
Doug
they
Flutie's
tried
football.
to run. It just died in the water. I think the devs just like didn't care, but they tried to straight up run a sim league like as the developers of the game.
Kinda neat.
Yeah.
And I thought the whole time like that would have been so cool, and it never happened. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's interesting because it's a field that, as esports itself grows, I mean, this is just a branch of esports.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think if you give it like 10, 20 years, this will be a field that has a lot of people in it.
I think so.
Yeah, no, that is Doug Flutie's game, and I do remember when it came. It's just a lot of customization, which is Madden to its core. When you load up the game, you don't really get menu customization. You have to enter franchise mode, and then you have to take a real team and
Yeah.
customize it, which can be problematic when you're trying to start a customized league like what we
It's
would
a lot of
need.
work.
Yeah. So yeah, great
Yeah.
question. Who asked that? Think about giving them if they're in my league, I'll give them a little money
I don't
kick.
know where we even went with the question. I don't
They're
think
gonna
that
be
was
head
the
office now.
original-
I don't think that was someone's question, was it?
The
We
initial,
started
the-
talking
the
about engines.
initial,
It
the
was an
initial question-
organic.
Yeah, the initial question was about like picking an HO member
Oh.
to like form a new league. So we went way off base, but
All right. Yeah.
No,
This is
because
what we
Hummus
do.
asked
But listen-
about SVA's engine.
Oh, I did.
Yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
if
yeah.
the
I know
question,
where we
if
got
this
off on
question spurs conversation, it's a dub.
It's a good
It's a
one.
win.
That's what we're here
like-
for.
We can't really
Exactly.
promote Amidas because or Emidas.
Yeah, well.
He actually asked it several.
Yeah, he told me.
Wow.
I told him that we answered his question, and he said he asked a few more. I believe he is watching
did.
too. So
His
we can
next
skip him.
question
We don't.
was.
We don't need him.
Actually, I like this question a lot.
Well, okay. Let's give him more.
So
pats on
this
the
will be
back.
the rest of the podcast.
Oh, jeez.
I'll do his shout out first because this is a question I think is going to spur a lot of conversation. The shout out was to Jeremy Shirley, the commissioner of the WBL
Yes.
from
Okay.
2002 to 2006. He notes that is not a typo. Basically, without that person, Emidas wouldn't be here.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, this is like a sim league lifer for the.
Yeah.
I know myself. Like, I didn't join until I probably like 2016, 2017 in like any sim league.
Yeah.
But people like Amidus and Moleholt, who also a user in a number of leagues, and the owner of our league, these guys have been doing it for a long time, and
Oh,
it's cool to think about. Back to what Dom said about like how this is going to grow in the future. It's crazy to see how far we've come in the last 15, 20 years from like very simplistic kind of posting on forums and like like specific, or like somebody was telling me about a baseball league that was run on AIM chats. Right, like AOL Instant Messenger, like you just post the box score and move on. Like it's crazy to see how far we've come. But anyway,
Unlock
get
the
to
memory
the
in my
question.
brain.
Well, that's actually literally so perfect of a segue to the question that I'm wondering if you were set up for it.
I wasn't. I promise.
This is not scripted, I promise. Like,
The question is, one thing I am always interested in is recent trends and evolutions within the Sim League community. What do you think the next major evolution will be for Sim Leagues?
Oh man, that is a great question, and I
This-
genuinely had no idea he was going to ask.
You really
really didn't, I
lined that
promise.
one up perfectly.
That's wow.
This has never been done before. We talked about this the first time we got together. So the server that we're gonna open up tonight, we want to make it the most populated server in Sim League history. I think we can do that. I think that's something we could work towards.
definitely.
But yeah, to me, the evolution is just coming together, and then just doing this. I bounced ideas off you guys. You guys have bounced ideas off me. it's inspirational to come together. So
Definitely.
that's my answer. Yeah,
That's a really good answer. Yeah.
low hanging fruits. So whatever.
I'm
I'll take it.
gonna go for the same fruit. I think I genuinely agree with that. I think this is the next step for it. I think there's a lot that can be done from like this concept that like we are all like operating in like different ways, but like in under the same sort of goal, right? And then coming together can open up a lot of doors, even from just like a community perspective. I mean, you look at shit like to me, since we've started like talking as like a united sort of group, I'm always thinking of it in like this connected way. So like I was browsing through my Instagram the other day. So I was posts from the New York Giants where they're talking about how the New York Islanders came out for their game. And I'm thinking about that and I'm like, yo, we have teams across our leagues that share cities. Where's the connection there? Why do we got to stop the connection here at a Manhattan Raid Discord server? Throw together a New York Sim League server, you know what I mean, and have all these guys, you know what I mean? You know, stuff like that running through my head where I'm like, you know what? There are a lot of little ways that we can connect with one another beyond just saying like, hey, we all have this weird niche hobby, you know, like there is like mini groups and like little like pocket communities that you can form from these connections. And I think the next big jump is 100% like, you know, building on this sense of like we are no longer one corner of the internet, like we are one big corner of the internet, you know what I mean? Like and you look at it like now, like I mean, okay, like we've got like Doc, like you're here now from SBA. We have somebody asked in the chat a little while ago if there are any F1 leagues. So and I'm like 99% certain there is one. Is there not? There is an F1 league out there, right?
If not, make them. Like,
yeah, right. There's a new basketball league starting up as well, WSBL, which like they're in talks with a few of us about affiliation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not.
We couldn't make it tonight, but you know,
hopefully in the future.
Dude, man, Bailey. Everyone knows Bailey. Like they couldn't make it tonight, but we want to make sure we represent them too.
For sure, and hopefully they can come in the future. But and like that's like even then, I mean that's not even that's not super out of pocket because you got like us in SHL, but we've got VHL running a hockey league. I mean, hell, this chat has had like 3 concurrent football league runners at the same time. You know what I mean? There is a huge pocket here. We've been joking about a soccer league. If there are enough people interested in it, start it. There are resources to do.
Oh,
this
that's
shit,
that would be a huge league.
We need a sim engine, bro.
Yeah,
man.
Fair.
Football manager. Football manager is there for soccer.
No, they said I talked to people.
There.
Yeah, someone called it out.
Right.
What was it? Someone you say you just can't export?
Yeah, you can like export stats or like players, and I believe like if you have like you can't like share the file or something like that. So like if you have like a simmer who like quits, then like I think like the league is
you just have to restart.
Yeah,
it's locked down. Yeah, we should maybe get a group of us. Someone who's got the biggest pull in sim leagues, like to reach out to a football manager.
Don't gas me out like this.
Nor we talk about the most activity checks.
If it's something that's actually,
I'm blushing. I'm not that big, guys.
Wait, that's part of the goal of the Sim League server. What if I mess?
Yeah, we can make like a chat there to discuss it. Yes,
right. An idea about a soccer league and how we're gonna approach talking to FM devs, because it's one thing to message like, "Hi, I'm John from like Central Ohio by myself," and I know like 3 people. It'd be fun to start a league. Or you could be Nor from Toronto and be like, hey, I have 1,000 friends.
Here's our Discord server.
Here's our server. Here's proof I have 1,000 friends interested in starting.
We are doing things. Yeah.
I think their devs would work towards that because they know the ROI is there.
And that's right, because a lot of the it's like the same as we were talking about on that last topic. Is you've got these like indie devs who are like thriving off of this idea that like their game hits a niche, right? Like it's like just off the top of my head, you had like this big like indie revival for retro games in the last decade, and you saw devs like Celeste, Shovel Knight, all these guys putting together these games where people were like clamoring for like a return to like tough 2D gaming, right? And so you have the same niche here where it's like these devs aren't like ignoring people because they are jerks, right? They're ignoring these things because they don't think there's a market for it that they can hit. So you get in contact with these guys and you say, hey, look, I run a hockey sim league community. This is what we do. We have this many people. We have concurrent leagues. We've got like football ones, basketball ones, baseball ones that are thriving with similar numbered communities. There's a market here for you to do something like something like this for soccer, for whatever sport you want to do it, and then these devs, actually get to thinking. It's the same thing you were saying, Hummus, about how like OOTP was like blown away at the fact that PBE was not just like three dudes in a watershed, right? Like it's like like it's like an actual sizable community of like people who interact with this on a damn near daily basis, if it is daily. Like if not the whole community interacting every day, you have the like strongest members absolutely doing that. So it's about incentivizing these devs to think like, hey, you know what? If we do this, we're not throwing money in the garbage. Like there is a reason to do this. So, just get like, I think just back to the question. Yeah, that's the next goal is making this like, it's always going to be a niche hobby, but like pushing it towards this concept that like it is not a niche hobby that applies to like one personality matrix and only that guy. It is a niche hobby that can, with the right amount of support, can pull a good number of people. We're like on a couple of thousand across all of our leagues at this point, right? So
yeah, and I want to talk about Emmy some more. So I was so I was just so amazed by the fact that we have a decent base from the UK in a baseball sim league. So I had to ask them, I'm like, you guys are playing in a baseball sim league from Great Britain, like why? Like how? Like what happened? And Emmy responded, I'll never forget. She said, sports is sports. And like it's simple. The sentence is simple, but it carries such a crazy meaning behind it. Like it's true, like competition, camaraderie, teamwork, community. Like that's what sports is about. And that's what I think what we're trying to do with each other. But yeah, that's something hopefully, going back to that soccer league, it's the sport where the fans are the craziest. So that would be like honestly perfect for what we do, because people who know me as a teammate into PBE know I can get a little crazy, to hype up my team. So
definitely
having a soccer team would be really cool. Soccer league would be cool.
Yes, it would.
I mean, I think on the topic of supporting a market.
Football, if you call it the proper name, we're good with either. But
what's the slogan? The most beautiful game, or
the
something?
Most beautiful game.
The beautiful game.
Yeah.
Football, if you're in the right area.
The most beautiful game is Quidditch. Anyway.
Quidditch Sim League when, dude?
By the way, is it time to just start yeeting out invites to the server?
Yeah, I think we should drop it.
Yeah, sure. Let's drop it.
You were the one who said that it wasn't going to make it till the
do we
end of
have
the pod.
a
right? I'm like,
do we have like a picture for the server?
Oh, so
not
this
yet.
is my idea.
Yes.
Should we do that
over
first?
there?
So this is my idea. You guys tell me if it's bad. We could workshop it live. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
so,
it's terrible.
Right.
By the way, on my screen, Hummus is directly below me, so that's why I keep pointing here, even though you're seeing him over there.
Yeah.
I'm
directly below you.
Doc. Yeah.
How's it going?
Hey, baby. We do the Brady Bunch thing.
Yeah, right.
I'm saying hi to someone. Do you go to Stanford?
I'm actually a high school student.
Oh wow.
Hey.
Wow.
I am.
I like the rest of us just felt our age for a second right there. You can visually see it.
I'm about to faint.
I had flashbacks.
Turning 30 soon.
I love that. I love how many, like in all our sim leagues, we all have stories of people who are high school students and stuff who've just displayed all this ability and talents and personality that it's like, yes, so we it's one of those things that works with the community aspect.
Definitely.
Since I'm going to keep harping on the point Hummus was making, it's just you can find people of this giant age range who are
definitely.
Somebody mentioned somebody who was 78. Like we have this giant age range of people who are just like we share these things and people go out and they try things, and that's not something that would have existed 10, 15 years ago. Let alone when some of us were young.
And especially like it's like what especially what Hummus was talking about with like sports being like sports unifies like everybody. You know what I mean? It is not discriminatory to race, age, gender. You know what I mean? Like you just come in and you walk in a room and you're like, I'm a fan of this team, and some guy's gonna be like, hey, that's cool, or he's gonna tell you to go fuck yourself. Like
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's
the cat, everybody. There's Charlie for those people who were requesting.
Nice.
Charlie.
It's the same deal. You know, you're building that sense of community off of the back of something that, in my opinion, has the most community appeal of anything in the world. You know?
Yes. Two cool examples. One, esports.
Just take it
The amount of people. So I'm super into both, right? And the variety of people that you meet in esports is crazy compared to a conventional, like, the way that we think of sports is pretty like male dominated, right? Like the leagues, the more popular leagues are the male ones, generally more fans are male, etc. Esports is not like that at all, and it is crazy. So this is definitely something you can build an identity around, and something that I was thinking about that at this point I don't know what the hell it is, but it kind of relates to sim leagues is Blazeball. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It is an absolute mess, but it kind of is like a sim league, and that has literally like 10,000 people in it. You know, like this genre can expand so far to encompass so many people.
We have not even peaked. We have not.
Yeah, I don't think we're at 1%.
We haven't even begun to peak.
It's not even 1%, man. We got so much to go.
I had to do the It's Always Sunny reference, but
Yeah. But I agree with that. And this is going to help, but we are starting to tap into it. But I think there's way more work to be done to expose us to the world.
Definitely.
But the idea I had for the server icon, it's going to have to take buy-in from every league represented, but basically do a global contest for the server icon. And so each entrant messages their whatever commish they want. They could pick one, and that their proposal, like their entry graphic, and they send it to one of us. We drop it in the commish chat. We all vote as commissioners what we think should be the icon, and then the winner gets to pick a league to get like a small kickback payout in. I think all of our leagues have money in it. I don't know if you guys do graphics contests in your leagues. I know we do a decent amount of them every year, every season. For the banner on the website, we do one. Whenever we need a new banner for the Twitter or something, we've done those. So I was wondering what you guys thought of that. Have someone from the global spectrum submit their idea, and then we vote and we pick the winner, and then they get a little kickback.
By the way, I dropped the invite in my league, and people are already starting to pour in.
Oh,
hell yeah!
But the curse on
all
you.
right.
I think I think I like the idea. I think there's a lot of workshopping we might have to do behind closed doors to figure out the money payout to make it so that based on which league member wins, they get something that is I guess roughly exchange rate.
I was gonna say us commissioners should have come forward with a number and that. Yeah. It's relative.
Yeah, so something that applies so that you're getting it's roughly the same percentage, I guess, compared to what average. Yeah. And then run something like that. But I think the idea, I think there is nothing better than starting off a global sim community with a global contest that applies to all sim leagues, right? I think I think that's about a banger of a start as you can get, right?
That's exactly what I was thinking when me and Adam were talking about it.
Yeah.
And honestly, the amount should just be whatever your standard graphics contest number is.
There you go.
And
Perfect.
so I'm just gonna I don't post those. So I'm just gonna go find one, see what the number was, and then come back to you guys and tell you the number.
Let's do it.
But yeah. Oh yeah, the server's popping off. Love it.
Can we just ban Van now? Is that okay, guys? Are you cool with that?
No.
I'm so in favor of banning
I'm vetoing any bans of Van. I love this idea. Just this is where we are right now. This idea that you can do something, and then leagues you may not even have created in yet are and here's some money.
Yeah, right.
That is just awesome.
Yeah.
Possibly a little overwhelming, but in a good way.
Right on, right back onto the point of that initial question, right? That this is this is the next step,
Yeah, 100%. It feels like he was setting us up in hindsight, and I don't think Although his mind was probably there.
Well, when you
he's
think
a
about it,
smart guy.
the whole idea of like that global sim server was spurred by a question too. I'm telling you, these questions are
Yeah.
what's spurring the minds, getting them working, right? So,
And we
Yeah.
jumped on it fast.
Yep.
Like
yep.
Shout out to you, Adam. You deserve a lot of credit for that. I only had heard about you. I never really got to know you. You were my teammate in Detroit, but you pretty much ghosted us, which I used to care, but now I don't because I realize you're really cool. But there was a time where I was like, dang, can you just update once?
look, Joe and Laser knew what they were
Era.
getting when they drafted me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy I've gotten to know you, Adam. Thank you. And you've done a lot of work on the Sim League server, getting all the ideas together, getting all of the leagues, asking us to bring our 5 reps in per league. So I appreciate you.
I knew I wasn't going to get out of this without you doing that.
Sorry.
Hey,
I apologize.
it was a good idea, and actually, it was your reaction originally. Just the immediate positive reaction was like, "Oh, we could do this. We could,
Yeah.
And then from there, it's just somebody needs to jump, so I jumped,
Right on.
and just getting a bunch of other people to jump, and because we are never as strong one of us as we are as a group.
For
Yep.
sure, for sure.
Socrates said the answer's in the room. So if you are taking a class that's Socratic method, the expectation is that someone in the room is going to produce the answer. And I think that's how I've approached being commissioner. Is like, hey, I don't know much, but somebody here should.
Yeah.
Because I didn't start this. I just kind of just stumbled into it. So
Sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Who was it? Somebody asked me something this morning. Can I do this? And I was like, I don't really know much about it. So go ahead and put it to the group, and then we'll go from there. Like, there's always people who know stuff you don't, and always stuff
Yep.
that other people don't, and like it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you build a team, right? Like that's why none of our
100%.
leagues are run by one person. It's a bunch of people because
Definitely,
everybody
definitely.
brings something else to the table.
Now, are there days where you wish you had the ability to just unilaterally make a decision? Come
Yeah,
on.
sometimes.
Yes,
Nora's
A little
laughing
bit.
and smiling. Adam's like, oh, hell yeah, of course.
A little bit.
I do very occasionally, but it's about
Oh, yes.
Then,
Every
you
so
know,
often,
it's an
you'll have like an
intrusive thought.
issue.
Like,
Yeah.
There's an issue comes up, you're like, you're getting outvoted. You're like, but like you respect the
Yeah.
democracy behind it. Yeah.
Okay, I did make in the sim chats. I made a chat to discuss the idea of making a soccer sim league. So we will see what the horrendous, chaotic minds of
Look,
the sim league people.
I'm
come
calling
up
it
with.
now. I'm calling it now. My player will be Roy Kent, and everybody can fuck off. Like, no, I'm calling it. You're done. I've called Gibbs. It's over.
Also, why don't we have ISFL in this? Did they just straight up like never join?
They are not.
We're gonna address that,
joining.
Adam.
They're not currently joining. To the best of my information, they're cool being sort of like our buddy on the side.
Okay.
That's kind of
Yeah.
where they are. Yeah.
I'm glad we
So
addressed
we're
that.
gonna
Yeah, because
kidnap-
they've been on every single vidcast
I-
before tonight, so it's good to mention why they're not here. Yeah.
ISFL, in truth, because I've had several beers. And I'm going to pause so a
here
couple
we
people
go.
can go.
Drama. My
Uh-oh.
heart is thumping.
ISFL,
I'm so excited.
from a management standpoint, calm down, Bex. You don't have to have a heart attack now. It's a slower moving league, management wise. They're kind of like a glacier. That's kind of the style that reflects Bex, their commissioner, where it doesn't seem like they're moving and they move very slow, and then all of a sudden 17 things will change.
Yeah.
So I expect they'll be in eventually. It wasn't enough time for them. They kind of need to do their own pace.
Word.
I'm not going to poo-poo on them for this.
Yeah.
I poo-pooed on them for plenty of things, but I do it to their face. They know. I once offered them to borrow my balls because I didn't like the punishment they gave somebody. That was not a popular thing with HO. It was like, I'm getting a vasectomy. I don't need them. You guys want to borrow them?
It's funny. I'm trying to pay attention to you, Adam, but I'm pretty pumped that I'm watching, PBEers like join the server. Yeah, one at a time.
Thank you for saving me from that.
Of course, someone asked, like, why don't we have an icon? So I'm like, okay, you're definitely not watching right now. You're not one of the 14 viewers.
Yeah.
So
who are still with us.
Yeah.
Thank you for staying with us.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, VHL definitely. They joined today. We've had talks. They were a little slow, similar to ISFL, like about like the willingness to be part of the server. So they have management in there, but I don't know if they're going to be opening it up to their members.
Yeah.
So that's another one. We definitely want to get them on the video cast though. Yeah, they just couldn't make it.
Yeah.
We did schedule this pretty late. I think we officially scheduled it like 2 days ago, yesterday.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
So I told them pretty quickly after we officially picked the time. Beketov is their commissioner, and we talked, and they just couldn't bring out anybody. So we definitely want to bring them out soon.
I think they had folks on vacation and stuff too, if I remember what he said.
Yeah.
So like it's
Yeah.
they'll be around.
I mean, at least half their HO wasn't in a D&D game. I want to hear about that though.
Yeah.
At some point.
Willie,
There
what's
was.
that?
Fuck it. I'm gonna say this. There was a long time ago. It was SBA based. There was this entire server for like this D&D sort of world, and I really am hoping somehow it's a magical fucking miracle way we can sort of recreate that at some point with this, among a million other hopes I have for this. But like,
Oh yeah.
I
Sky's the
saw.
limit. Sky's the limit.
Yeah, I saw a semi-opening. I'm like, I'm throwing that shit in.
Yeah, I don't doubt that there will be
yeah.
some D&Ders wanting to branch out and from that server and make their own game. That'd be a huge W.
Yes, this paid off. In the server a while ago, I said "suck it" to Pal in the future when he reads this, and he just got back to me when he joined.
He searched his name. Of course he did.
He did. I knew he was gonna. That's my quarterback.
That's hilarious. I don't know about you guys. I'm pretty pumped to go dive into that after this.
It's going to be a chaos.
Lots to talk about.
It's going to be a chaos, apparently. Is there anything else we want to bring up before we do that? We are running hour 45-ish now, so.
Mhm.
Oh, wow, that was a month ago I did that. Nice. I did say Amidas' question would probably take the rest of the cast. So to bring that back to that, the future of sim leagues is this kind of stuff. Yeah. It's the bigger, wider, broader community that, like, for those of you who haven't joined yet or just joining, we have ideas for people will schedule game nights or events or we'll have sort of on the fly stuff like that happens. The potential. We know the word that is in every commissioner's mind that Hummus and I were joking about last night, so I won't say it. That is in there. We know like all the different things. Just the idea that you can, and I think it was this was alluded to earlier in terms of GMs, but overall, where you can be like, this person's applying for something. Let me go talk to the people who might know. You're like the fact that your resume kind of exists. Oh, we got someone for a second there. Your resume exists on a larger level now. Like
definitely.
And no, we're probably not going to combine the banks. Please stop asking.
Oh, are they asking in the main server?
Stop asking.
That's my new main server now. No, but like
open that
there's the people that were calling it PBE all just moved to the Sim League call.
Yeah.
And they're like talking about how PBE is taking over the server. That's really funny.
Stop it. If you're watching, stop being losers. No, I'm kidding. Keep being yourselves. You guys are hilarious. Yeah. No, and like I think some leagues, some people may look at this like when you do something you have to have an ROI. Like I don't know if I've ever really had that mindset from like a personal standpoint. I don't know about you guys. Like being here tonight with you guys, I haven't looked at it from a PBE ROI perspective. I'm looking at it from like a global ROI perspective. I think coming together, I think just creates long-term sustainability, because I know if we're struggling with something, if we have like a mass exodus or something crazy like that, massive turnover, I know there's people in this call I can lean on. And I just voluntold you guys I will be leaning on you, but like Doc's here. Dom's like, heck no, please not. Someone's like, oh, I'm trying to get home right now. Let me go to college first. No, but Adam, you'd be probably one of the first people I'd want to call. Nor, same for you. And Dom, Doc, someone too. So that's what I'm looking at it like by by being vulnerable, being open, and like being willing to talk about topics, stuff like this, like I think is only going to help the PBE in the long run. So I'm not looking at it from a recruiting ROI. I know there may be others looking at it like that. Like I don't care if we don't get a single new join from this server. All I care about is how healthy are all of our leagues.
Yeah.
And by coming together, I think that can only promote health.
Hard agree.
I am jealous of all the trees that are on someone's walk. Like, I'm just like watching the background,
nice
like
out.
it's gorgeous, man. We
It's
had
gotta
like
be
some of the
California.
leaves were turning near the beginning, and now we got all this greenery.
Someone, are you in
Lakes as
California?
well. Yeah, I'm in Northern
Okay.
California.
That's why
Oh,
we're
hey.
in San for sure. Santa Clara.
I'm in a bad state right now. Damn, California.
Are you in Santa Clara? Not to get. I don't want to get too.
Yeah, I am.
That's cool.
Nice.
I
That's
am
a
in
good.
San Jose. I think everyone that's talking to me knows that.
I love Northern
That's
California.
awesome.
It's if you ever get a chance to visit Northern California. I lived in Sacramento for 3 years. Like if you ever get a chance to just visit there, especially late summer to mid fall, it is one of the most beautiful places you can visit. It's just gorgeous. You get hills and rivers and trees and just you're near the ocean and you got mountains and you got fucking everything. You got trees that will make you contemplate your role in the universe. Like, I know that sounds weirdly dramatic, but it's true. Like, if you've ever stood next to an old redwood and just like looked up at that thing and went, "Oh, you existed when dinosaurs were here." Like, you know, yes, Northern California is the shit. It's definitely one of the few places I would move to out of Vegas.
I'm kind of hoping that like while I would walk past like a lake and there's like a bunch of like goose there, or like I guess the proper term is geese. And I was scared that you guys would like hear the goose, but like hopefully not.
Well, I don't know if you saw how chat reacted to my cat. They would probably love the geese.
It's true.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, we are all very tired. I think it's time to wrap up.
We
Yeah,
got
this-
through 2 questions for reference. Just
They were really good questions. Hey, to be fair, this sim league thing has been delayed more than construction on a highway. Like that is a big accomplishment.
Right.
Easy does it. Okay, you have not seen construction on Toronto highways. If you think this,
I was gonna say,
Ohio's pretty
I-4
in
in
that.
Orlando's takes.
Can we
it's been
get
taking like
the-
5 years?
Can we get the millions that go along with that? Because, you know,
Right? Yeah, we're unpaid, Dom. Those are paid contracts to build those highways.
Yeah, blame them.
Right.
Wait, you guys aren't getting paid?
Y'all aren't getting paid?
Oh,
Some leagues, I can't. Not here
man,
tonight. There
I guess
are
I
some
need
leagues
to
out there.
talk to my head office.
Yeah, right. All right.
let's go ahead and hit final thoughts. Anybody? Someone. We'll go with you first. Any final thoughts for you tonight?
Thank you for Tag for randomly asking if anyone else wanted to go on, and I said sure. So I ended up being here. And even though Tag was technically available, but I will hopefully use everything I learned from Sim League and get into Stanford one day, and then I will.
Heck yeah. very
And
well.
I'll
Oh.
tell you guys.
And it's right there too. You don't even have to move.
Great school, obviously.
Nice.
Yeah.
Don't ask me for a letter of rec. My resume is not, unless they like sim leagues.
My letter of recommendation would be that they just fucking give up and add an S to the end of their name for their teams. Just stop. Just add the S.
Oh yeah, great reminder.
So probably
Well,
not a great
Stanford.
recommendation.
Cardinal. They're Stanford Cardinal.
Correct.
Who's next on final thoughts?
Let's go with Dom. I'm gonna go in
Oh
order.
man,
People
I
like
didn't
me.
study for the test. Yeah. So, congrats to the Akron Aviators beating Adam's garbage ass team in the championship.
And he's gone.
Shout out to my boy Vaughn, who did a great job assembling that team, and also the commissioners who didn't do as much as Vaughn.
I don't have anything I can pretend to throw.
Draft coming up soon. This was great. So love the Sim League server. I think so many cool things are gonna come with it. And yeah, always good to be here, guys. Also, I miss TLK a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I
So
love
much.
you, Adam. That was not intended as a slight of you. I just miss TLK.
Noir, go for it.
Echoing the same thoughts. Thank you to everybody who tuned in and listened to us tonight. Thank you guys, everybody in this call for coming up. Doc, thanks for coming by for the first time. Hopefully you're back again in the future. I like really excited to get the Sim League server up and running and getting like, every call I feel like we come up with a new like big idea that we want to pursue. So, very happy that this spurred on from like one drunk cast to like something more. So,
three of them.
Yeah,
This was a charity incentive, right?
So I'm very excited to continue doing these in the future.
I'm just saying, I haven't been slacking.
But excited for this to continue moving forward, and like all of us to continue thriving as a group as opposed to like individual parties. And
now we get labels.
And I guess and rest in peace, Emmy. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us, and we're here today as a group because of the contribution of people like her. So yeah,
absolutely. Doc.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, glad to be here. This is a fun sort of surprise. We passed it around the SBA leadership earlier today, and everyone was kind of like, I don't know if I can make it. And then my schedule happened to work out, so I was like, I'll go hop on late. So I'm happy I got to be here. This is cool. This is kind of unique. Like, I haven't really, I've crossed over a bit in sim leagues and met some folks, but this is, a whole different thing. So it's exciting. It's fun, and I think the server is going to be a great thing for everybody. I think, we've all got communities that we all really love. I think most of the time, there's those days where you're just like, but generally it's a good group of people, and I'm excited for us to all share our friends with one another, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I think it's gonna be cool stuff for like whatever comes next. So right. I'm pumped, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
I love the idea that our HOs might actually start fighting as to who gets to be on here and stuff.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. So for SCFSL and sort of the leadership of this thing that we're doing, and for Charlie, I love this. I love that. This is my first day off of my week, and so it's just my wife and daughter know like this is the thing we've been working on for a couple of months, almost at this point. Like this is huge and it's awesome and it's fun and it's very cool to get in here and do this, and even to get like unexpected people and to this group, this podcast has changed multiple times in the last 24 hours alone. So it's just kind of this excitement of these things, and I love what we're doing going forward. And that's what I got. So yes, I did make Hummus last on purpose. I saw what you were up to. So play us out, Hummus.
No, thank you, Adam, for tonight. Thank you all for being here. Chat was really fun to engage with. My final thoughts, I'll piggyback
Nor
off
for
Nor.
Hosting. Sorry.
Yeah, Nor, you've been a great host, gracious host. Thank you.
Merci.
Rest in paradise, Emmy. Love you so much. Gonna keep talking to you. You're always gonna be with me everywhere I go. I'm gonna wear that SIG and your SIG and my SIG for the rest of time. I'm gonna represent you. So you've left a massive impact on everything we do, as Nor mentioned. Just how amazing you were. So I hope you're watching right now. And looking forward to this contest. I can go ahead and it'll be quick to whip up a little write-up if y'all want to just think about a good number. We could put in that write-up, like if you're from this league, it'll be this much, so people can start doing the math in their head. Like, I know I'm in those 3 leagues. Maybe I'll pick this one because it maybe like slightly favors me here. Sure. If y'all want to get with me on that, and I'm gonna play a little.
Woo!
Yeah.
You weren't kidding about learning it.
All right.
I did learn it.
Now let's all go to SLF voice chat, which is popping off even larger than we are.
Let's go crash it. That's what I was gonna say.
I'm gonna go party in there. All right, see you guys later.
See you in there, boys.
See you guys in like a minute.